Welcome to Live Interactive English. My name is Winnie.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're talking about something very interesting.
What is that?
We're talking about Disneyland!
Ooh, okay. What's going on with Disneyland these days? They always have something new for us, don't they?
But it's a big one.
Oh, okay. What's going on?
They're celebrating 70 years of Disneyland.
Really?
So it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Wow, 70 years Disneyland has been there in California. This is the original Disney park, the first one that opened, so back in what, 1950 something? Would that be? Yeah, okay. 70 years, that is amazing. So yeah, that is definitely something to celebrate. When you celebrate, of course, you're having a great time. It's a party, it's a festival, or it could be a big birthday or anniversary like this. So that means that Disney has started 70 years ago in California. Now, of course, they're all over the world. They opened a newish park in Shanghai just a few years ago. Have you been to Disneyland, the original one in California?
Yes, when I was a kid. Yeah, I don't really remember a lot of it. I only remembered the Haunted Mansion ride, but mostly because it was just so scary.
You were probably too young at that time.
Yeah,
really
I don't know why they okayed me going on that ride.
How old were you at the time?
I think I was like 3 or 4.
Okay, I went to Disney World in Florida, and I was around the same age. All I remember is it rained a lot.
Oh no!
But it was okay because it was very empty. No one was there. So we got to do lots of things.
It's like a private showing.
The only picture we have is my sister and I in our Disney rain gear, like yellow hats and yellow raincoats and stuff. So it wasn't the happiest place, maybe. Probably the wettest place on earth that day. But yes, Disney has brought a lot of happiness, joy, and excitement to people, and it still does. And people still go to Disneyland, along with Disney, Euro Disney, and Hong Kong, and Japan, and Shanghai, and all the other places they have these parks. So let's find out all about a little bit of the history of Disneyland and why it has been doing so well, coming up on 70 years. Disneyland's like a grandpa or a grandma.
Disneyland is often called the happiest place on Earth, and for decades, it has been delighting people of all ages. This year, on July 17th, Disneyland turns 70 years old. To mark the occasion, the famous theme park has been putting on special festivities. These started in May, but they will continue until the summer of 2026, so visitors have plenty of time to join in the fun. The theme of the anniversary is Celebrate Happy. One major highlight is the return of the Paint the Night Parade, which first appeared at Hong Kong Disneyland in 2014. This exciting nighttime show features over 1 million LED lights.
All right, so it's all there in our title, Celebrate Happy, because I think Disneyland was created as a place for happiness. And that's what we're doing as we also celebrate 70 years of Disneyland, because that is a big birthday for a person, for a place, for anything like that. 70 years shows that, you know, it's done well.
Yeah, it's not easy to reach 70 years.
Not in any way.
No, and of course in our title we have Celebrate Happy because as a lot of people know, Disneyland has a slogan, or it's got a nickname as being the happiest place on Earth. So that's how we're starting this article. It says, Disneyland is often called the happiest place on Earth, and for decades it has been delighting people of all ages, which is very true because I see all the time on YouTube, there are a lot of these vloggers who dedicate their entire channels to being Disney fans. So loving the shows, the movies, and now, you know, the amusement parks.
That's true.
Right. And so, you know, it has been delighting people of all ages, and to delight someone or to delight something is to make them happy and to please them. So for example, the movie will delight kids who like animals, as people who are delighted by all things Disney will love going to Disneyland.
Absolutely. So we can use delight as a verb. We can also use it as a noun. The kids' eyes were filled with delight when the clown came to the party or something like that. So happiness and joy, maybe not. So yes, it has been delighting people or filling people with delight for a long time. And then we read, and it says this year on July 17th, That's the date. Disneyland turns 70 years old. Wow. So it's not just the year they know, it's the actual day when the Disneyland park first opened way back then, 70 years ago. So if you can be there on that day this year, that will be very special and very busy and crowded. So probably get your tickets now. It says to mark the occasion, the famous theme park has been putting on special festivities. That's very interesting. When we mark something, here where of course Mark can be a boy's name, right? This is my friend Mark. But no, here it is basically to notice or to celebrate, to pay attention, to do something special for this occasion, this special time. They're putting on a special festivities or, you know, fun party celebrations and things like that. Special things that you won't see normally. And we call this a theme park. Yeah, that's a good term to use to talk about all of these different places. Places like Disneyland or Universal Studios, Harry Potter World, Liu Futuan, right? Which is here in Taiwan. These are all theme parks. And we call it a theme park because each one kind of has a title and a story to it. When we go to Harry Potter World, it's called Harry Potter World. Everything is designed in the Harry Potter style. The rides, the food, the stores, all of the different activities. There is a theme. And a theme is kind of like a title and a main idea of something. So if you're asking a person, what's the story about? Or what's the movie about? And they give you a very, very short version of the story or the world that the story takes place in, that's kind of the theme, right? So it's the basic idea that kind of holds everything together. And of course, the theme of the Disney parks is movies and other things created by Disney for entertainment. Here we have another example. The theme of the story is friendship. That's the basic idea of the story. And of course, we can tell a story about friendship in lots of different ways, but the main idea or the theme is friendship.
Right, and you'll know, like for example, a birthday party has to have a theme. Like maybe you really like SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm a big fan. So I would have a party with the theme of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Cool.
And I think why people love Disneyland so much is because within Disneyland, maybe you're not a big Mickey Mouse fan.
True, yeah.
But if you're a Star Wars fan, they've got you covered because they've got, you know, that whole Star Wars area.
That's right. And if you are a fan and you go to this place, wow, it's like you're living in the movies or the shows that you've loved for so long, so it can make it all really come alive for the people.
Right, and continuing on, these started in May, but they will continue until the summer of 2026. Oh, cool. So visitors have plenty of time to join in the fun. So you don't have to just celebrate this year. You still have until next July.
That is good because, yes, it might be busy if everyone's going on one day, but this way you can save the time and plan your trip a little later, but you'll still be able to see many of the fun special festivities and celebrations they have planned.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Yanni。迪士尼乐园常被称为世界上最快乐的地方。数十年来，它一直为所有年龄层的游客带来欢乐。那今年的7月17日，迪士尼乐园要满70岁喽。那这个主题乐园有举办特别的庆祝活动，活动从5月开始，会持续到2026年的夏天。好，单字 delight 这个动词表示使开心、使高兴。Theme 这个名词表示主题 ，theme park 就是表达主题乐园。另外文中它用到 For decades, it has been 来表达数十年来它一直怎么样。那我们来学习 for 跟 since 搭配现在完成式的用法。For 可以表达长达怎么样。Since 可以表达自从，那它们常常搭配现在完成式使用，用来表示某个动作或状态到目前为止已经持续一段时间了。那来看看用法，我们可以用 have 加 PP 后面接 for 加一段时间，或者是接 since 加过去时间点，或者是接 since 加上过去式的子句。我们造3个例句。They have known each other for a long time. 他们认识彼此很久了。They have known each other since childhood. 他们从小就认识彼此了。They have known each other since they were in kindergarten. 他们从幼稚园的时候就认识彼此了。好，接回课文中。
All right, let's get back to our article.
Right, and so it says the theme of the anniversary is celebrate happy.
Okay.
So just like our title, we're talking about really embracing the happiness, and we are at the happiest place on earth.
That's what they say.
One major highlight is the return of the Paint the Night Parade, which first appeared at Hong Kong Disneyland in 2014. So they're bringing it back. They're introducing it to people who might not have gotten the chance to see the Paint the Night Parade. And of course, this is to help celebrate the anniversary. And an anniversary is the celebration of a date 1 year later or every year. So you'll often hear your parents or your grandparents celebrate their anniversary that marks, how many years they've been married. So for example, you could say the museum will celebrate its 100th anniversary in July. And you will notice that a lot of these places that celebrate, all of these really long anniversaries, museums and places like, cultural centers, and now Disneyland.
Yeah, there you go. It's kind of like a birthday, but we usually use birthday for living things, right? But an anniversary for something, even a marriage, we have marriage anniversaries.
Yeah.
And here's a little tip, actually, anniversary is very similar to the word for birthday in French.
Right.
So there you go. But yeah, it's like the 100th birthday or the 100th anniversary or the 70th in the case of Disneyland. What is this Paint the Night Parade? I've never been to Hong Kong Disneyland, so I don't know what that is. It says this exciting nighttime show features over 1 million LED lights. That's a lot of lights.
That's a lot of lights.
Oh my gosh. So this is a nighttime show. They'll probably do it in the early evening, right? So kids can see it and everyone's tired after a day at Disneyland. But they I think they had, what was it, like the electric parade or something? And they had things with lights. Now they're using those little LED lights. And so of course a computer can change the colors and they have many more. It would be spectacular. Make sure to have your camera ready and you'll see all your favorite Disney characters and colorful things passing by in this lovely parade. That sounds like a great thing to do before you fall over because you're so tired from so much fun.
迪士尼乐园70周年庆的主题是 Celebrate Happy， 庆祝快乐。这时候 Winnie 老师接着说拥抱幸福。那我们学一下 embrace 这个动词 E-M-B-R-A-C-E， 这个动词表示拥抱或者是欣然接受。那么单字 anniversary 表示周年纪念、周年纪念日。课文提到说，周年庆其中一大亮点就是迪士尼光影会这个游行的回归，而这个活动最早是在2014年在香港迪士尼乐园首次亮相。那这个夜间表演使用了超过100万盏的 LED 灯诶。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
All right, guys, we're going to have a little break and then we'll be back with more.
It also includes famous Disney characters like Ariel from The Little Mermaid and Elsa from Frozen. The mix of fun music, wonderful colors, and Disney magic is sure to create memories that families and children will cherish forever. A new attraction, Walt Disney: A Magical Life, has also opened for the anniversary. It features a lifelike animatronic of Walt that moves and speaks like a real person and tells visitors about the great man's life story. But why did Walt, the real one that is, create Disneyland 70 years ago?
All right, so we are celebrating happy at the 70th anniversary of Disneyland. That's the original theme park in California. We just learned about the Paint the Night Parade, which they're doing now at Disneyland, but it originally started at one of the sister parks, Disney Hong Kong.
Right.
This is a parade at night. They'll have beautiful things going down the road with all your favorite characters and 1 million LED lights. I know, I counted all of them.
Yeah?
I didn't believe that.
So then you had to fact check.
I paused and I went and I counted. Yes, there are. Actually, there's 1,000,007.
Oh, okay. So this is why you have a mic.
Yeah.
Because then I can report and say there really are 1 million.
Yep, 1,000,007.
1,000,007.
Oh, one burnt out. 1,000,006.
Oh, okay. Continuing on, it also includes famous Disney characters like Ariel from The Little Mermaid and Elsa from Frozen. Okay.
Isn't Ariel, can she breathe? She's not in the water. Ariel!
No, don't worry. They'll use the lights to create some water.
Oh, that's good.
She's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, cool. So yes, your favorite characters, those are just two of them, and I'm sure there will be dozens more. Most of the favorite characters you can probably think of will be there in some way. It says the mix of fun music, wonderful colors, and Disney magic is sure to create memories that families and children will cherish forever. Yes, you can take pictures of it, and of course you can watch it, have these memories, share them with your family, friends, and even 30 years later, when you're an old person, you will still remember all the good times you had at Disneyland. You will cherish these memories. When you cherish something, it's kind of like valuing something in a really strong kind of way.
Right.
All right, so you might have a really good friend, and you might think about that friend after many years of your friendship and go, wow, we've been great friends, and they've always been there when I needed them, and I'm always there for them. And you sort of appreciate the value and how much good this brings to your life. So cherishing is kind of a thing you might do in your mind and in your heart when you show appreciation about the good things that you have, the
you
things
can also,
that make your life better.
Yeah, things like you can cherish a blanket that you've had since you were a kid.
Absolutely. Your favorite things, the things you collect, the things you never throw away because of the memories and the happiness that it brings to your mind and that it brings to your life. For example, I will always cherish the time I spent living in Spain. Even though it was 20 years ago, if I'm going to write my life story, that would be a big chapter. That would be an important part, a really special time that I will never forget, and I will be very happy and lucky to have experienced.
刚刚说迪士尼光影会这个夜间表演使用了超过100万盏的 LED 灯，还包括小美人鱼的 Ariel 和冰雪奇缘的 Elsa 等等著名的迪士尼角色。那结合了有趣音乐、缤纷的色彩，还有迪士尼的魔力，一定能够为家庭们、孩子们创造出永远珍惜的回忆。好，单字 cherish 这个动词就表示珍惜、珍爱。那这边有一个重点是 be sure to 加原形动词的不同意思。第一个，它可以表达某事肯定会发生，某人绝对会做某事，像是 The movie is sure to make you laugh， 那部电影一定会让你笑出来的。第二个用法是用在祈使句来表达一定要怎么样，务必怎么样，提醒对方不要忘了做某事。例如 Be sure to wash your hands before you eat， 吃东西之前一定要先洗手哦。好，接滑课文中。
Well, and continuing on, a new attraction, Walt Disney, A Magical Life, has also opened for the anniversary. And so it's an attraction. It means something that people go to see and experience. So usually tourists. So you'll go see a tourist attraction like Taipei 101. So for example, the park's flower show is a major attraction for visitors every year. So this is something that is another way to celebrate Disneyland. And I mean, you can only go on so many rides.
True.
So maybe, especially for the older folks or people who are not, good at walking everywhere, there's something for them to appreciate.
Yeah, absolutely. And often in these theme parks, they use this word attraction for the different rides and different types of entertainment they have, right? So a roller coaster for the big kids, a little roundabout, a little merry-go-round for the young kids, and even those shows you might watch, like the stunt shows or the magic shows or things. Those are all different attractions, or basically things that are fun and entertaining and bring the people in. What is this Walt Disney life, or what was it, a life experience? It says it features a lifelike animatronic of Walt that moves and speaks like a real person and tells visitors about the great man's life story.
And of course, an animatronic is kind of like a robot that they make to look really lifelike, make it look like, whoa, is that Walt?
Exactly right. Yeah, if you've been to the Hall of Presidents in Disneyland, they'll have those, scary, I am Abraham Lincoln and I won the Civil War. So yes, it's kind of a moving robot model type thing. But this one, of course, using probably AI or something, it moves, it speaks like a real person, and it tells visitors about the great man's life story. Because yes, I think most people know this. Walt Disney died back in like the 1970s or something like that. He is no longer with us, but this is almost like having him back, celebrating and enjoying the anniversary of his first theme park. When we say lifelike, it's basically saying it's almost like real life.
Right.
From that term, we know that it's not real, okay, but it's made to look very real. So maybe you're playing a computer game and wow, look at the picture, the graphics, it's so lifelike. It's like a picture. It's like I'm really there. Or a lot of robots, or maybe even an AI that you're chatting with, like a chat bot. It seems to respond and act or move or look like a real living thing. It could be a person, it could be an animal, but this, of course, is not. But it is almost like the real thing.
Right, probably answers and acts like Walt Disney.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so continuing on. But why did Walt, the real one, that is, create Disneyland 70 years ago?
Good question. He was bored?
全新的游乐设施华特迪士尼魔法人生也在这一次周年庆登场。那它有一个栩栩如生的华特机器人偶，能够像真人一样移动和说话，向游客来讲述这一位伟人的生平故事。好，单字 attraction 是名词，表示景点或是具有吸引力的事物。那在文中就是指吸引人的这些游乐设施。Mike 老师有举例，像是云霄飞车啊、特技表演等等。那我们学一下 stunt stunt 它可以指特技动作，而文中用到 lifelike 就是形容栩栩如生的、逼真的。animatronic 它原本是形容词，可是在文中当名词，就是指由电动机械操控的人形或动物造型玩偶。好，那课文最后问了一句，但70年前的华特，也就是他本人，为何创建了迪士尼乐园呢？那这部分要先卖个关子，等到第2天课文再说明。好，那这边还有一个重点是 that is 或者是 that is to say， 可以表达也就是说。更确切的说，用来提供更精确或是具体的讯息，或是进一步来解释前面的说法，相当于也就是说，换句话说，或是更确切的说怎么样，或者是即什么什么等等的意思。举例来说 ，Daniel is an atheist. That is to say, he believes that God does not exist. Daniel 是无神论者，也就是说，他认为神不存在。好，那接回课文中。
All right, well, we're going to have to come back tomorrow to find an answer to that very good question.
A little cliffhanger.
Did Walt Disney create Disneyland? We'll be able to ask him, I guess, if we go there. Or to make it easier so you don't have to fly to California, come back tomorrow and join us because we'll be discovering more about Disney's 70th birthday, Disneyland's 70th birthday, tomorrow in the article. Until then, bye-bye.
See ya.
Disneyland is often called the happiest place on Earth, and for decades, it has been delighting people of all ages. This year, on July 17th, Disneyland turns 70 years old. To mark the occasion, the famous theme park has been putting on special festivities. These started in May, but they will continue until the summer of 2026, so visitors have plenty of time to join in the fun. The theme of the anniversary is Celebrate Happy. One major highlight is the return of the Paint the Night Parade, which first appeared at Hong Kong Disneyland in 2014. This exciting nighttime show features over 1 million LED lights. It also includes famous Disney characters like Ariel from The Little Mermaid and Elsa from Frozen. The mix of fun music, wonderful colors, and Disney magic is sure to create memories that families and children will cherish forever. A new attraction, Walt Disney: A Magical Life, has also opened for the anniversary. It features a lifelike animatronic of Walt that moves and speaks like a real person and tells visitors about the great man's life story. But why did Walt, the real one that is, create Disneyland 70 years ago?
最后，我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。 单字的部分有第一个 delight 是动词，表示使开心、使高兴。第二个 theme 是名词，表示主题。第三个 anniversary 是名词，是周年纪念或周年纪念日。第四个 cherish 动词，表示珍惜、珍爱。第五个 attraction 名词，表示景点或是具吸引力的事物。文法的部分，我们第一个学到For 表示长达或 since 表示自从，它们常常搭配现在完成式使用，用来表示某动作或状态到目前为止已经持续一段时间。那用法就是 have 加 pp 后面可以接 for 加一段时间，或是接 since 加过去的时间点，或是接 since 加过去式的子句。第二个学到了 be sure to 加原形动词的不同意思。第一个可以表达某事肯定会发生，或者是某人绝对会做某事。那第二个可以用在祈使句里面来表达一定要怎么样，务必要怎么样。第三个我们学到 that is 或者是 that is to say 表示也就是说，更确切的说。好，以上是今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
So, most people have viewed the beauty of Sun Moon Lake from land, but have you ever seen it while being on the lake itself? If you ever wanted to experience being up close and personal with the popular lake, well, you're in luck because there are boat tours readily available to take you out onto Sun Moon Lake.The best way to tour Sun Moon Lake is by boat. Most people start from 水社 Pier. The trip takes 1.5 hours to 2 hours. The boat will stop at places such as 玄光 Temple Pier and 义大少 Pier. During the trip, the captain will introduce special sights along the way. Many people will get off the boat at 玄光 Temple Pier. You can often see street performers in the plaza by the pier.When you move around, the walkway will lead you to a famous Sun Moon Lake stone marker. You can enjoy a great view of the lake here. In the center of the lake is Lalu Island. According to Sao legend, Lalu Island is where their ancestors' spirits came to rest. It's no longer open for tourists. An ancestor is any person from whom one is descended.And many indigenous communities are very mindful and respectful of their ancestors. So, with Lalu Island being their final resting place, it's best not to disturb the spirits of their ancestors. Well, there are still plenty of other views and places to see on the boat tours. So, next time you go, make sure to pay close attention to the words of the captain, who is in charge of the ship, so you can learn more about Sun Moon Lake.